Hey y'all, how's it going? Bohemian with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart readings here. We're on the waning full moon in Sagittarius now. It happened early this morning. So there's, a lot of people will be celebrating it tonight. Some people did it last night before it actually hit aspect, but you can still get in that work, so don't worry. We are going to do a reading to see what doors are open to you, what pathways are open here, inspired by Papa Legba, but not saying you have to work with him. But that's the inspiration behind this reading. So I have 6 of them here. Hopefully, the baby stays napping long enough to get through them all. And at the end, we'll have the collective message for all of us, as we always do. So stay tuned for that. Please feel free to timestamp if you have a moment to do so. And let me know how the reading goes for you, okay? I can be found on Facebook at Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart, and I can be found on Instagram at Bohemian Stars underscore Ocean Heart. All right, so we have Tiger's Eye. We have this, they call it black labradorite, and it's also called something else, velvet something, and I forget. Snowflake obsidian. This is, I believe this is my Apache's. No, this is my onyx. This is coral, red coral, and this is apophyllite. All right, and so while you're thinking about that, we'll go over here and see the cards we're using today. We have the Power Animals Oracle cards, the Ghetto Tarot, which people also call the Haitian Tarot, Saltwater Reading cards, and the Tarot of the Orishas. All right, so do you have your card in mind? If you're watching the playback, go ahead and pause it and take your time if you need to. So, what door is open for you now? For those of you who chose the Tiger's Iron, I don't know if I said this was Tiger's Iron, which is basically Tiger's Eye with hematite in it. All 3 Tiger's eyes with hematite. For those of you who chose that, we have the Bubbler Crab Creativity. Oshun, okay, which goes beautifully with that. The Hierophant. And Dolphin, Playfulness, Time to Play. So, for those of you who chose this, creation energy is open to you, sacral chakra energy. Oshun loves fun. She loves a very festive life. Beauty and creativity are right up her alley. Time to play. Dolphin energy is very much the same, very friendly, very frolicking. Dolphins do some crazy things. Like they even like get recreational high off of like pufferfish and like like they're good peeps, but they be having fun. So, and then we see the Hierophant energy. So you might have had a lot of responsibilities and just feel like you can never get out and live, or that for some of you this is not having creative freedom in the workplace previously, and that's really going to open up for some of you because of family concerns. You haven't been able to really feel like you can like embrace your sensuality, whatever is your creation energy, creative energy, your playful energy, and just feel very sensuous and desirable and attractive, and like you are just calling things to you. It's that attractive energy calling to you what you want, but in a very friendly, playful way where you know that you're co-creating with the universe, not where you have to demand and suffer and and have to this is where you automatically start having favor with those in high positions, where you start even if people don't agree with you in the family, you're just so there's just you just got that juju about you that they just can't even hate on you for it. So that is starting to turn on, um turn on in your energy sphere. So really embrace that. So these are all doors, each of these readings, and so we can choose to go through them, or we can try to pump the brakes or to turn that opportunity down. So really embrace the energy of being able to create yourself, recreate what your family and work dynamics look like, recreate what your social life and what your connection with your children and partner looks like. Okay, it's a fun one. All right, so for those of you who chose the black labradorite, the velvet one here, transparency with jellyfish, the sun, 8 of Wands reversed, 8 of Brooms in this one, woof, guardian, you are safe and protected at all times. Okay. So what is opening up for you is for you to be able, it's kind of a block within yourself that's been there and waiting for this connection with like your real self, like your, but it's wanting to be able to boldly assert yourself, wanting to be able to authentically proclaim who you are and move forward in a way where you feel protected, where you feel safe, but you can be ferocious. You can show, kind of a star athlete side, or like the warrior side, or those sides that are victorious and noticed and prominent and active, and forward moving and dynamic. You might not have felt that it was appropriate to do so. You might have had issues feeling guilty after you assert yourself. You might have had fears of shining too brightly or letting people see through to who you really are. Those are all things that are changing now. So that's what Spirit wants to push you through the door of being able to claim your power. So some of you, it might be like you wanted to be an Instagram model, but you just can't handle the flack of like haters and frenemies and things like that. And this is like, no, be who you authentically are. If you're wondering how to quickly excel in life, how to propel yourself, to open the roads for yourself, it is literally by putting yourself, your true self, this is the sun, your core self, expressing your core self out with transparency. Even if you feel like that's a little feisty, even if you feel like that, well, I don't know, like I'm starting to get bold, I'm starting to get feisty. It's like, let that out. If you're, guardian protection, I feel like there's certain things that you want to stand up for. There's certain things that you want to speak out about, and there's a boldness that you really want to embrace that you've been kind of choking down. And I think it's really eating you up. And so this is saying, no, let yourself have that power. Let yourself express. It's actually the quickest way to success for you at this time. Okay. All right. For those of you who chose the snowflake obsidian, and you can do, A, B, C, D, E, F, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you want. Okay. Lionfish, individuality. Reminds me of the clownfish. Ace of Earth, which is Ace of Pentacles reversed. A little Taurus energy there. We have the Six of Wands reversed. Oops. Raven, magic, own your power. So this is talking about power too. So especially if you pick 2 and 3, but this is a little bit different. This is this is where you need power in a specific situation. So this is, this one's more in general, trying to embrace that in your life. This is a very specific situation, and some of you might have even, did some workings, conjure magic of some sort towards it. Manifestation is what some of you will call magic, but ain't it magic though? Prayers, ain't it magic though? So, and some of you are wondering if you should do that. So this is trying to, for some of you it's a financial situation, for some of you it's reputation. But it's trying to do it on your own. So trying to become an entrepreneur, trying to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and own your reputation, own who you are. Some of you, this is a body journey. So this is where you're needing personal power in a very specific situation, and you'll know what that is, that you have just been really, really concerned about. And it is saying the door is now open for you to own your power, however that looks. Some of you, if you have to accept less money to become more empowered, it's saying do so. Some of you have to stop going backwards to the past in order to own your power. And you might feel like literally like, well, the door's not open, like where am I going to go? Who, what job is going to take me? Or what if I get blackballed? Or if I break up with this person and leave, where am I going to go? It's saying own your power, be an individual. The door is open. There's no going back anymore to what has put you down or thought less of you. Okay, so it's saying you are a magical creating person. You are empowered. The universe is helping you now, pushing you through that door, and you don't have to go backwards on that anymore. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this is an end of codependency too, or the end of needing. So I feel like right now you don't need negative haters. So sometimes people like, you use that energy, you absorb it, you transmute. This is like bounce off of that, and use that to propel yourself in the future, or just leave it. But you don't need to have those people around anymore. They don't need to be there. So this is clearing out, becoming individual, and moving forward in your own power. And it's open for you now. All right. So you're greenlit. No guilt, no worries. Okay, for those of you who chose the onyx. We have Pelican, self-sacrifice. We have the air element. We have the Empress reversed. Porcupine, innocence, free yourself of guilt and shame. You know, it's so interesting. I'm a big activist, so we're gonna, we'll have lots of things about that. But this is literally reminding me about the children that are missing right now, the migrant children who are missing. So for some of you, this is showing you wanting to get involved. It's saying that door is open. You can help. You can empower. This is the loss of children, the loss of innocence here. This is ideals and wanting, activism, communication, power of the mind, and the sacrifice with that. Okay, so some of you, whether it's that particular awful, horrible situation, which we should all help and be aware of, please, or if it is helping someone else out with children. This is okay, it's varying for different people. Some people, it is maybe you decide not to have a child and it's getting over the shame and the burden of that. Okay, maybe that there's been a certain phase of life with your children, you've had to release and let go more, and you're like, is it okay for me to go and kind of be my own person now or not? So it's you having the door open to do that. Like, it's okay to, let the nest be empty. For some of you, you've been struggling with conceiving, and so it's putting an end to that and allowing the door to be opened out to move forward and come into a place of having fertility and cleansing yourself of whatever was blocking. So continue doing what you're doing if you've been doing spiritual work to increase your fertility, because I see here the blockages emptying that have been there for you, preventing that, and the child coming in, okay? So whatever has been hindering you, some of you, it has been things that you went through with your own mother, and there's a new phase. So whenever we have a door, we're going through the new doorway, we're releasing whatever didn't work, right? So, so depending on where you're at, if you've been on outs, with your mother, it's either the ability for you to fully release if it's been very toxic, or if you've been hoping for reconciliation, the ability to reconcile here. The energy for you to step through and claim your innocence in situations, for you to claim your nurturing nature, for you to claim the power of your mind with these. So to really go out and champion self-sacrifice, champion protecting the innocent, protecting mothers. There's the energy of protecting the feminine, protecting, and this is through words, this is through ideals, this could be through writing, this could be through communication, through telling your own stories. There's just a big energy of release and going into a whole new phase of what those things mean to you, okay? All right. And I give a few examples because it's a general reading, so I pick up a lot of energies. If you get a personal reading with me, it's going to be a lot more specific and direct. But, there's tons of people in the world who tune in and watch videos. So, okay, for those of you who chose coral, oh my gosh, I love all these ocean thingies. Sea sponge, emotional overload. 3 of fire, which is the 3 of wands. We have the 5 of wands. Oh yes, definitely emotional overload. Oh, giraffe, foresight. You are able to see what is in store for the future. This Sagittarius moon is very much opening the doors for you. It's very prominent. You might have a lot of wild emotions. You might have a lot of stuff hitting the fan in social groups, on social media. This is you just being like so overwhelmed, too much going on, trying to filter out who are, it's like you don't want to just get rid of everybody in your social group because there's some real ones there, but at the same time, there's like, it might be hard to disentangle because people that you really care about are entangled with people that are kind of a hot mess. So this is saying the gift of foresight. If you were feeling like, it's very Sagittarian energy, if you were feeling like your third eye was a little blocked or you weren't seeing things clearly, that's going to clear up. Visionary things are huge right here. Is very huge. So when you allow yourself to release the pressure of emotional overload and allow yourself to be empowered that you, one, can have discernment and that you can make the best decisions for your social circles, for your life, for the vision that you have moving forward. That's going to help you a lot. And you have a very powerful third eye chakra. So I would really, excuse me, honor that in yourself. Labradorite is great to work with that energy. Turquoise is great to work with that energy. Lapis is great to work with that energy, okay? So it is time to go ahead and to remove the people who I feel like they're hecklers. I'm getting a big social media vibe, but it's like you have a vision of your life, of what you want, of what you protect, what you create, what your vision for your life in the world is that you're trying to put out. And then there's those people that basically it's like if you're posting something, you have emotional overload. If you're posting something on Facebook about your life, about something you're accomplishing, something you care about, you shouldn't have to sit in anxiety then waiting for who is going to have a problem with it. You should be able to have your clear vision and propel yourself forward. So that's the door that's opening now, is absolutely clear in vision for you. It's good friends, good people that are really going to sync up with you and help you build your dream. They're people who are going to not just love heart to heart, but actually be actively creating similar lifestyles and similar plans and goals. So in order to do that, see like how these are interlaced, it's like positive vision, positive vision. But in between those, we have like the emotional sponge and competition attitudes or pettiness attitudes. So we want to put that all, leave it in the dust, and you need to connect with torchbearers, all right? Other people who are empowering, enlightening, creating vision for those around them, okay? And that's opening up for you. So it is time for you to accept only those who are truly your soul people and to allow this other to be expunged. I'm sorry, I had to. Oh, okay. For those of you who chose apophyllite, this connects to ancestors, that stone. It's fossil, actually. Shark action. 10 of air. Oh, those birds. 5 of cups. Otter, surrender, let go of control. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so for some of you, I'm seeing that in the past, for some of you in the past that you chose this one, you haven't always had the best mentality or communication with others. You could be very snarky, mean, snippy to others. Coming from a place of a lot of sadness and stagnation, could be a bit of a Debbie Downer to others, or bringing people down, having difficulties letting things go, even if you knew that both people weren't good for each other in a situation, things of that nature. You could really, it's kind of like the hurt in you could stalk out and attack the hurt in other people, or create that there. And it's saying it's time to let go of that sense of control that gave you doing that. It's time to let go. And otters have very playful, friendly, loving medicine. But before that, it's letting go of all of this. All right. And this is that new door to do so. And it's okay. That's why we come to the cards. It's not always like, oh, you're doing great. Sometimes it's like, man, they'll call us out. So this is saying that some of these, even if it's just your own mentality that's been, even if it's internalized, it's not your outside voice that's been saying these things and others perhaps don't know, I think they would feel it. Really looking at the past as not just in a victim way, but where did I contribute to this? How was I lashing out? What did I do? And not to then go back into a cycle of like, oh, woe is me, that was so awful and, sad, but to let it go and say, you know what? That was, I was letting the fear and the anger and the hurt control, and it didn't do what I wanted. It didn't feel good. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So going towards the 2 of cups and that otter medicine is the new doorway. Happiness, responding with love to someone, responding with I'm getting this phrase, I could hug you. I could hug you. So when something's happening to someone, instead of being mad because their pain reflects your pain, or they're making you, their pain and what they're going through is making you have to feel something uncomfortable, thinking, I could hug you for that. I could hug you for that. I could love you through that. I could support you through that. And not going to that place of, well, I don't have, well, I'm miserable, well, I'm anxiety, and let me find the people who are having a bad day, and instead of encouraging them, say, oh, me too, and drag down the conversation. But adding support and love, and just reaching out. And this is equal energy. It's just equal. No control, no higher than, lesser than, just equal empathy with others. And so there's a new door of empathy opening up. If you've been on the suffering hand and you have been very much in a place of empathy, it does say, again, identify if it's been having so much empath energy that that empath, a lot of empath energy nowadays can become narcissistic almost, because it's like, well, I feel this. And I've had people say things like, well, when someone said, you hurt me about this, and this, and the person who was saying they were an empath says, well, no, I'm an empath, so I would have felt it if I hurt you, so it's like you can become so feeling, and I'm a Pisces, I understand, I'm water dominant. You can become so feeling that you don't understand how you're not the victim in certain situations. So this is allowing the release of that. All right, otters are still in the water, but it's good. It's good feelings. It's time to feel good feelings. You're right. It is time for you to feel good feelings. Put those good feelings out and allow yourself to receive those good feelings, those pick me ups from others, okay? All right, now for everybody, we have, for all of us, we have discernment. Oop, if I can get it up. Discernment, look beyond immediate appearances. And under that, I feel the need to show we have owl, omens. Pay attention to the signs, which is important because look what we got. We have the Seven of Swords. So we need to be paying attention to things. So this is the doorway that is now open for us, is one of supreme empowerment, because look what we got. This is like the magician, the Baba Lorisha. So this is having like that power that in cycles. So things ebb and flow. Things ebb and flow. Sometimes this is what it is too. Sometimes we have, we're so in our power, man. We can read everyone back to their, 26th great grandparent. We know everything that's coming at us. And sometimes we fall so flat on our face on something so freaking obvious, and everyone's like, oh, but I thought you was a psychic though. And you just want to, punch them, but but we don't. But so this is saying this, but there's a new door open. It's saying things are you're gonna have a learning curve. We're all gonna have learning curves as we go through these doors. But this amount, it's, these are your omens now. This is showing you how empowered you are. It's saying don't let it slip by. Don't let it slip by, and don't try to negotiate with your opportunities. That's what I'm getting. Have discernment. Follow your ancestors' guidance and your omens. Don't try to negotiate yourself out of your opportunities, right? Don't we do that though? Don't try to evade your successes. Okay, so don't worry. I think a lot of times, because we have this fear, like once I grow through that door, I have to be perfect. I have to be perfect for the rest of my life. And I'm saying, no, we're human. The moon waxes and wanes. It happens. It's fine. But we have to stay allowing ourselves to be empowered, even if we're still learning and making mistakes. We have to allow ourselves to be renewed and to level up a little bit. Okay, so the people who are watching this and are drawn to this, you're very empowered. You have a very, I had seen for the one reading, strong third eye energy, and I feel like a lot of you guys, your third eye, your crown energy is blown open. Like you're very aware, or you're getting ready to step through that door, and that's why you're drawn to this reading. Okay, so stay open, watch your omens, trust your instinct. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any other ideas, and I will be getting to some of the suggestions of pick a card readings that people have contributed. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.